And Shirley didn't flip out at all. She felt the loss and she was sad and she hurt, but she was so happy that mom wasn't suffering anymore.
Yes.
Me, I felt like my parents had packed up and moved while I was at school. So we had totally different, reactions to that, but
Wow. Interesting.
yeah.
Wow. Yep. I was so like my mom in so many ways. And it's funny, my relationship with Maddie is very much like the relationship I had with my mom.
Yeah.
I can I can lose it with Maddie in an instant, whereas the other two kids, I am totally different.
Yeah.
Pushes my buttons, and I know it's because she's so similar to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are we gonna have this? Are we gonna tell Paul you wrote this? I mean, he's not here yet, but
He knows that I'm working on it.
okay.
He doesn't know that I finished it.
Okay. I'll not bring it up.
He can know. I mean, it's not a secret. I just had no intention of sending it to him. Usually we do that, but I thought no. No.
Good. So I don't know where he is.
I don't know where he is either. He did confirm that it was 3:00.
Just so as I remember again, I have to do another call at 4:00 your time, my time. So I have to just cut short just before the top of the hour. So if we need to go that long.
Okay. So what are we talking about today?
Well, obviously, Lindsay has been ungifted for like 3 days.
I've noticed that. And into the night, she's been ungifted for 3 days. But
what she does, she has a 6-year-old. So she typically from late afternoon through mid-evening, she's mom. And then she often comes back and does a bit more. Mm-hmm. But sometimes way too much. I mean, I saw some emails from her at 3 a.m. the other day, and I was like, girl. And I quizzed her on it, and she went, I was on a roll, I was fine. I went, that's not what I expect, you know?
Yeah. Here he comes.
She is a sweetheart.
Oh, I love her. I love her.
I'm blessed. Whoa, folks, twice in a day again.
Yeah.
Oh, today was virtual coffee.
And yesterday with public relationships and yep. Oh, and then next week is final public relationships and then blogging. So
blogging, okay.
With Lindsay. That's her signature course that I kind of, it came with her employment. It's her content. It's my inspiration, it's her content. Anyway, we've morphed so much that it's hard to know who's who now.
Yeah, that happens.
She has the intellectual property right, so that if she was ever to leave me, which after 8 years is probably very unlikely, that she has a right to take that course back out of our campus, if you like.
Hey, I left my employer after 14 years.
Wow.
But he was bipolar, so that played a big part in it.
Oh, I have one of those too.
You did, didn't you?
That's no fun. That's no fun.
Oh, I hope my people don't say that about me.
I cannot imagine you being bipolar.
You haven't showed us that side yet, if that's the case. You've done a really good job of hiding it.
Well, I am a Gemini. I don't know what that's really supposed to mean, but it was so funny today. Came in the middle of virtual coffee. We were about to talk to Jenny, and I suddenly remembered this line from Fawlty Towers with Basil Fawlty and the Spanish waiter, and I just line from Fawlty Towers, and Jenny's looking at me as if to say, "What planet are you on?"
Yeah.
My name is Manuel. I come from Barcelona. Democrat, he hamster. He named Basil. And she's just looking at me as if, what? What? You don't get it. British sitcom from the 70s, but hey, it's okay. I have a ridiculously incredible memory for movie scripts.
Oh.
I can quote way too much Monty Python verbatim.
Oh.
You had to be British to appreciate it, Paul. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I never, ever, ever got that. My friends in high school loved it, and I'm just like, I don't get it.
No,
I couldn't
neither do you, though.
the movie.
It's just a flesh wound.
The Black Knight. Yeah. Oh gosh, too good. Couldn't. Yeah,
Anyhow,
coconut shells.
Kim, I asked a question during the virtual coffee.
You did? What was your question?
I asked how we should keep in touch with our partners that we're partnering with.
Oh, yeah.
And they had some really good recommendations.
Oh, good.
And Jonathan didn't record the call today.
It is recording right freaking now.
But I did take notes.
I took note. I had your file open and I was writing notes too. So.
Okay.
Yeah. The Gifted Ambassador Program.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
We need swag.
We
so need swag. Oh, I so want swag.
We want gifted T-shirts and
I
mugs.
totally want swag.
And stickers and.
Yep. You are right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So, did you want to
Just
talk
write a
about
list.
that, Paul, or can I move on to another thing?
By all means, whatever you want, Kim. Let's just do it. Whatever Kim wants, let's do it.
Uh-oh.
No, that was a joke. You can't take it as one, though.
No. So I'm just a little bit disappointed. Look at that face. Did you see that face?
He's like, here we go again. No.
What face?
No, it's okay. You can do that. Randy does that to me too.
No, I was just writing and I just I was writing swag lists.
Oh, swag list, yes. I'm just a little bit disappointed that we haven't done anything with Balcazar's voice.
That's my fault. That is entirely my fault. Arnhem has bugged me 5 times and said you were going to re-record this script and tell me what you wanted, and we were going to type it out and send it to George, and he was going to re-record it. And I went, yeah.
So do we need to write that? Because we can write that.
Well,
I had it almost done, and it just hasn't come back to the top of my must-do pile.
So do you want us to, would you like us to finish it? Why don't you send it to us? Because you're going to send it to us anyway.
That's true. We just need a 30-second intro that isn't too heavy, that is super interesting for the Facebook group. I could probably do it in like 30 minutes. I just haven't. Yeah, no, you're right. My bad.
So this is for the Facebook group, for the private Facebook group?
Yeah, it was just going to be an introduction video that I would pin to the top, like I've pinned to the top the Gifted video on the Facebook page. Because it's just a welcome email video, if you like. Welcome video introduction when people arrive at the group, just to set the scene. That was my thinking. And Adam and I had picked the clips. We had the different clips of the crow and flying and less dark gothic. Apparently it's International Goth Day today. I didn't bother.
Doesn't appeal to me.
I've never seen Paul in black lipstick and...
Yeah. I don't even wear black shirts. I don't like black.
I don't either. I wear zero black. No, we worked with a personal stylist last year. Her name is Liana Chauli. She is a Beverly Hills starlet, if you like. And her grandfather was the personal couture tailor of the Tsar of Iran.
Woo!
And she hates black with a passion because it is the color of death.
Mm.
And unless you are Middle Eastern and of that color palette and of that color hair, she won't let any of her clients even wear black, period. Shoes, trousers a little bit, but anything from the waist up is never black.
Wow.
So Yeah, Debbie took everything black out of her closet, and her closet shrunk by over a third.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. So no, I'm not a black person either now. Blue is my new black, as you can tell.
Blue is your new black.
Because we had black, we make stuff happen t-shirts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which I thought looked pretty sharp, but hey.
So what do you have for us on the summit?
I have a meeting tomorrow with the lady who organized the summit, who 7:45, who organized the summit in Christmas time. And she did it over 20, she had 22 people. And she built an email list of 30,000 people over 22 days.
Wow.
Holy cow.
That's what we want.
Yeah, and I was part of it. And what she did a Facebook Live twice a day for a week. And each person showed up with an online gift. So just like the Imagination Guide, their own version of that. And then people subscribed to the Tele Summit, if you like. There was lists every single day. They had collateral so that they created graphics for each author to send out and saying, I'm being interviewed by, her name's Jennifer Dunham, on such and such a date. And we all paid $150 to be part of it. I mean, we could absorb that if we're doing it for the first time. So we all paid to just cover her admin costs. And then out of that, she interviewed each person, talked about what was unique, gave away a copy of the gift, and then people got that video live for, I think, 48 hours. And then it terminated, if you like. But she saved them all. And then there was so much value that she sold it as a package afterwards for, I think, $197, and you get all 22 interviews. I don't know how well that went. I'm going to ask her, but that's what she did. And the amalgamation of her database was ridiculous. Cool. She publicized it quite a lot, and she had people from all walks of life. She had lawyers and accountants and business strategists and time management coaches and marketing people. And it was, I think it was called an entrepreneur's toolkit for the new year or something like that. And she did it in December. And it was phenomenally successful and super well organized. I mean, this lady texted me, right, you're on in half an hour. Here's your Zoom link. Do you need anything else? You know, make sure you're well hydrated. Go to the bathroom. I mean, they did such a good job at prepping the guests, like a green room almost virtually.
Yeah.
And I had images of for Facebook, for Twitter, for LinkedIn to share a week before. She gave me a copy of emails and so on to do that. So she's done this 2 years in a row and has nailed it. Her VA is a girl called Marie Mack, who I know did it. I didn't want to approach Marie directly because she works with Jennifer, although I know she's a contractor. Mm-hmm. So I asked Jennifer for a call. She's in Sacramento. I spoke at her event a month or so ago. So we have a call at 7:45 tomorrow.
Thank you. That's going to be awesome.
I think so. So I'll get the full, and then she can tell me how many hours, you know, Marie took to create all that. I mean, we can mimic what she did. I just need to know how much time commitment we're looking at for that. But yeah, okay. sounds definitely doable. So yeah, so I'll find out about that. And we are starting to get some attraction from other authors on Instagram and Twitter now.
It seems like, yeah, Instagram.
Bob Again's on our stuff.
Is he? I haven't looked at Twitter today, so.
He not only liked my post today, but he shared it as well.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Who are we talking about? I missed the.
Bob.
Oh, Bob.
So I took one of his posts this morning and reshared it, and then I tagged him and Sandy in it early this morning, and so far that's our most liked. Oh, and Sandy liked it too and retweeted it since now.
Great.
Both of, I'd say, truthfully, how much this means, it means a lot to us.
Yeah.
You know, whether we're a tick on the back of a cow, I don't know.
Right.
In the world, but Jemmy just said, be relentless, keep showing up wherever you can. And to me, Twitter seems to be the place, because they don't seem to respond at all on their Facebook. They just broadcast, but on Twitter, they definitely seem to respond. So my tweet was, we do so love at Bob Proctor and at Sandy Gallagher. We couldn't be where we are without them, #gratitude. And then I shared Bob's post about gratitude this morning. So
So it shows that Sandy Bob and some lady named Rise retweeted it, right?
Yeah, and one of them, and then another one, 6 other people liked it on top of that as well. So that's
Right.
our most engaged tweet.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's getting you in front of them, so as and when you make that request, they're going to remember the 2 of you.
It's okay to be the tick on the back of the Bob Proctor cow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
As I say, he may have an agency. I don't know who does his social media, how much grace
He
he
does
gives.
not have an agency. He does it in-house.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I
will.
think it's Celine.
I think it's Celine too. I will point her out when we're in LA.
Fantastic.
She's very personable.
Great.
She's really
yeah,
nice.
She's very
Yeah.
nice. She would talk to you.
Yep.
I'm down. I'm totally down. And then we can really do some interesting social media at Bob's event. I'll be in overdrive about that one. So
Yeah.
yeah, exciting. Yeah. So that's the summit. Balcazar's voice. Yes. Do we have a green light to go public on the website?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's lots of pages that are hidden still, and like the blog and so on. But the bulk of it, we've been tweaking backwards and forwards nonstop, and I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
We showed a very sneak peek to the Inner Circle group in our circle of cone of secrecy or whatever this morning, Kim.
The cone of secrecy.
Did you ever watch Meet the Fockers?
Yes.
When he says, you know,
The circle of trust.
exactly. So we shared a little bit, and I've done a couple of very, very tiny teasers on our Instagram story today, just little tiny snippets of.
So did I.
Was that you?
That was me.
I thought it was Anna.
It was me.
See, this.
Oh, you don't know who does it.
I thought it was
So
Anna.
I'm that good now at Instagram stories. You're like, Anna's work is really going down.
Anna and I spoke last night, and I shared it with her. She's in Toronto right now, and she said, "Oh, this is amazing." I said, "It's not public; it's for your eyes only." But you know, we could, because I said to her, we could just take little thumbnails, and I assumed it was okay. That's the thing with Instagram; you can't tell. With
I
Facebook,
did
you
it
can always
during
see.
the virtual coffee.
Well, I'm even more impressed with Paul and less impressed with Anna. Having said that, I don't know if I told you why she's in Toronto, but she is becoming a surrogate for her brother.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
Wow.
my word.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What
I
a
would not
wonderful
do that
gift.
for anyone.
Has she had a baby before? Yeah.
She had a
Okay.
baby when she was very young, like 19.
Uh-huh.
Didn't even know she was pregnant until she was 4 months gone, because she was so healthy and fit, and she was ashamed of her hamlet, or
Hmm.
the tiny little town that she lived in Germany, and the parents were not happy. But anyway, she went full term and she did the right thing, and there was no dad in the scene at all ever. And he's 11, he's homeschooled. She's a beautiful single homeschool mom. And her eldest brother, his wife is a lawyer. They have tried IVF several times, and her body clock time is ticking. And over Christmas, she just said, "I'll have a baby for you."
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So it actually came to be.
That is very, 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 that's incredible.
So she is getting pregnant today, hopefully.
Awesome. Wasn't it just her birthday? Like 2 days
Oh,
ago?
no, that's Anna.
Who was this?
So this is Anastasia.
Anna and Anand. That's sometimes that's hard to distinguish.
Yes. So Anam is Aanam.
Okay. Anand.
Anastasia is Anastasia. So yes.
Wow. There you go.
So she's actually, Kim, she's writing a blog about her experience.
As she should.
So
Wow.
that's going to be pretty powerful. I said, you have no requirement from me to write anything about this experience at all. And she's very open about it. And she said, no, I'd really like to. So hopefully it takes. I mean, they've been measuring and testing and doing all sorts of. It's funny, her brother lives in Quebec, which is in Canada, obviously, but it's a very different country, almost, because it's very Catholic. And you cannot surrogate in Quebec. It's not possible.
Well, they don't.
Whereas you can in Ontario. So that's why she's in Toronto. So you can literally have the baby in the living room and say, there you go, and walk away. Whereas in Quebec, that was impossible. So.
Wow.
Yeah. What a team, hey?
Yes. Very good.
Okay. So
the next things that we have to do.
Yes.
Paul, I got your spreadsheet, and Paul and I are going to lay out who's going to record the video for what day for the Imagination Challenge.
Yes.
And what else do you need from us going forward now that things are live? I have to do some more Instagram stuff. I've already got Randy on the hook to be the cameraman this weekend.
Fantastic.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if the horses cooperate. That's my plan. I'm going to do a horse one. Because
they're not rideable, right? You said?
I have one that can walk trot, but I don't get on him. My other horse is a lunatic. She is trying to have an ovarian tumor. She's trying to make an ovarian tumor. And so it makes her very hormonal, and she's a wackadoodle. So when he leaves, she loses her mind, like temper tantrum, loses her mind. And then if she's upset, he's upset, and it's just not worth it.
As the Apostle Paul said, it is better to stay single unless you cannot.
Yeah, she just.
Wow.
She's got a really solid mind about everything else in her life except for being alone. She cannot be alone. And since she started doing this, I mean, she just started acting weird. And when I drew her blood, her hormones are out of whack. And there's one hormone in particular that's elevated, and that's the one that's usually elevated when they have an ovarian tumor. So.
Wow. Guess what? Mom knows what to do.
Just let it be, because she's not having a surgery.
Imagine. Whoa, that would be crazy.
It can be fixed, but not doing it.
No, we always had feral cats, and I always said, when they're sick, they're sick. That's it. You know, famous last words. We had a house rabbit, of all things, that lived for 7 years. Most rabbits lived 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. So yeah, things you do. But that shows you're an animal lover, Kim, and that's special.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's a part of your unique property in your brand story, right, Paul?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely is. Yeah. Okay. Great.
As long as the weather cooperates, it's supposed to be reasonably nice this weekend. So as long as the weather cooperates, I'll try and do something with them. If not, it might be the blind cat. I don't know.
Cats work too. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So in terms of, so what Jenny did was a 30-day rolling challenge where she hasn't done a video every single day. She's done 6 or 7, and other days it's just a written challenge in the Facebook group. And then she has followed through with a short email each day. And we've been tweaking what to put in that email to get open rates changing. And I'm not actually privy to how many people signed up in the challenge. It was around 10 to 15. I don't know if it's grown much, Paul. I don't know if you know. I don't think it has.
Is that it?
But she hasn't really pushed it. Yeah, I mean, I've been focusing on her webinar and her big push. That's like the challenge has not been on my roster to work with. She's been doing it with her assistant Emily. I've just been advising on the email strategy. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, for us, I mean, I want people to join the group. I don't want them to have to join the group and have work to do if they don't want to. So it's an option. If they would like to download the Imagination Guide and just leave it at that, great. But if they would like to go on a journey, we'd love to. I mean, even like today when we were talking in the group this morning, and this lady was talking about helping people overcome obstacles and like they feel like they're stuck in concrete and whatever therapy that she does, physical therapy that she does to help myofascia release tension so people's minds can expand. It's like she should so be giving everybody this book. I mean, I'm thinking about the pink concrete that became quicksand. I mean, that's exactly what you're talking about. So there's so many ways that I'm starting to see that we could send this book people's ways to be able to buy a dozen copies for their clients, to be able to showcase their work through the story in certain elements. I mean, even people who own a cafe, I mean, it's like, yeah, we may not be Jerry, but we do pretty good and have a lot of fun with this kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what we need, T-shirts with Jerry.
Well, there is some pretty good graphics of him, right?
Yeah.
And yeah. I mean,
Jerry's the coolest of all.
You can print T-shirts to order too, and people can go to our website and actually pick on demand.
Yep.
But for sure, I could see us doing ones with the gold gifted sort of right across the front. It's probably the primary one, and then sending them to people and getting them to wear them around the world, and especially holding the book and where they are with the book. It's kind of cool.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, I had a friend who did it recently with it's called Talk Triggers, and he talked about llamas and what was the difference between a llama and an alpaca. And it's like, who knows and who cares? But he used it as a talk trigger, and on the cover there's a llama and an alpaca. And then everybody who bought the book and got so many copies got a pair of llama socks or a hoodie with a llama on it. And it's a soft toy llama. And it was all about something called this talk trigger. And tell you about, that's what he did. I've got so many eyes open on so many people's campaigns right now. It's interesting.
Cool.
So with the group, 30-day challenge or Imagination Guide or just insiders access, right?
Right.
30-day Imagination Guide or just Inner Circle. And we'll give them that option. And then if they want to, so the thing with Jemmy is she added Paul and I to the group. So we assumed that we would get emails. We did not.
Right.
So we had to go back to her and say, where's the email? Well, you didn't subscribe. I went, well, you didn't tell us how or that we needed to, because by adding us to the group, we would assume that. So the other thing I've done, I've got Arnhem writing some Facebook group rules for the group. So as moderators, we can sort of say to people, nobody ever reads the rules, but we need to have them there so that we don't get people trying to sell the Melaleuca or anything else that goes on within these things. We want to sort of say, out of scope, my friends, goodbye.
Yeah.
So we've got the rules coming as well. And then getting the Facebook page to really encourage people to get to the group. So what I have to do is decide how much I put on Facebook to keep it active, but how often we tell people to go into the group and how much extra content we create in the group is going to be how we play that.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook advertising groups now a lot, and once we get the group going, we can actually advertise the group to people as having this higher value. So the group exists. You've seen the group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just you, me, and Paige right now in the group. So yeah.
I guess it's just kind of an all-encompassing group. We've got whatever. So anyone who opts in is going to be put in the group. And then anyone who wants the imagination challenge or the imagination paper will be put in the group, and anyone who signs up for the challenge will be put in the group. So, okay.
I don't really want to have two groups.
I agree.
It's a lot of work, and we'll dilute. And then at least we're doing the imagination challenge. If people want to sign up, we'll give that option every time. It's like click here to get emails into your inbox. If not, there'll be videos and content here to inspire. So yeah.
Okay, so in regards to the imagination challenge, so if we post a video in the group, like here's the challenge for today.
Yeah.
And we want the challenge to be evergreen, that they can just come and start it any day.
So we can put those challenges into what's called units. So they can go to units and go to 1 through 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we can do it a little bit like Mission Impossible. It's like your mission, should you choose to accept it, is, and tease them a little bit with that sort of wording.
Okay. Okay.
And you're right. After that, when people sign up after the first 30 days, we'll just put them into an email stream, and we'll have built the first 30 days emails by then in that campaign, and then they would get that automatically. But they may not get it in the group every day, because we'll be talking about imagination and all the different pieces that go on with that. And we can do Facebook Lives within the group. We could bring in guests within the group. So, just imagine if you could get Bob to come and do a Facebook Live with you, and we said to everybody, we're interviewing Bob Proctor for half an hour, but you have to be in the group.
Yeah.
We get a lot of people.
Maybe you should come to LA so that you can get Bob to do a Facebook Live. Just fly in, do the live, and fly back.
Are you talking to Paul?
I'm talking to Paul.
Oh.
I was going to say, I'm coming.
Yes, you're coming.
Yeah.
No pressure, Paul.
Yeah. No pressure.
Yes, pressure, Paul.
Oh, I've got pressure. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm sorry. No more.
I did see a beautiful Facebook post that your wife created about her sister.
Yeah, yesterday was her birthday.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
So you're not likely to come to Paradigm Shift at this point, I'm guessing?
That is to be determined.
All good.
I don't know.
I know you literally just been to one as well, right?
Yeah. Yep.
My spider senses tells me Kim wants you there.
Well, yeah, there are so many events, and Paul and I have done, several of them, and we've been doing this now for a year, 18 months. It's like every other month we're flying to Los Angeles to do an event for Bob, and we're happy to do it. It can get very challenging. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that we noticed while we were writing the book is that we would lose the momentum. So we'd be working on something, and then we'd lose a week being in LA,
yes,
and we'd lose our momentum. So we're a little more strategic in deciding when and why we're going. Does that make sense?
Of course. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to an event next week, and I happen to be sponsoring it and speaking at it, but I've been to this event 9 times, and it's the same event. And mm-hmm. It's like, I could teach this event. Mm-hmm. But is it strategic that I'm in the room supporting this lady?
Yeah.
100%. And she knows it too. And a lot of people speak to me because I've been in the same mastermind for 4 years. And Debbie comes with me as well. And they all know if they speak to the spouse who's not in the mastermind but has seen what the husband has done, that's probably the best quality testimony you can get. Because it's unsalesy, it's unfiltered, it's like, is it really worth it? Do people really get the results that they say they get? And then they go and ask Debbie. And then she says yes, and you can speak to my husband and he'll tell you for sure. And then I get to speak to them. They join the mastermind and then they hire me. I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
You got it down.
We have, and it's the last one next week after 10 years.
Oh, it's the last one?
Oh.
Oh.
What she does, every 6 months in the mastermind, you get a directory of every single person. Photograph, email, cell number, social media, bio. Gold. Gold right there.
Yeah.
I have 9 of them.
Cool.
Yes, anyway, I digress. But, well, I mean, whether there's a way that we could hijack Bob at that event, Kim, I mean, I don't know. Would you not be comfortable doing an interview with him?
Well, you can't get to him is the problem. He
has security.
He's very carefully guarded, so you can't get to him. But
you know the thing that would work is filming stuff in the Q&A at lunch.
Yes.
You could tout a live Q&A with Bob. He does a live Q&A for the VIPs during lunch, and you can film it. He doesn't have a problem with that.
He doesn't?
No, people film it all the time.
Okay.
For broadcast purposes?
He doesn't say anything. Every consultant, if you look at his consultants, whenever Bob goes live, they always film it and maximize it for them.
I could totally do that.
So the other thing is if we wanted to be sure that it was okay, Jonathan, and then we just ask Gina. Gina is his assistant, so I can ask Gina.
Just
set that on the table during lunch.
That's exactly what I would do.
It would not be an issue.
It's exactly what I mean, that's why I carry it around with. And it's so light, I mean, but really sturdy. So yeah, I just set up my phone and live stream straight into the group.
Seriously, it would not be an issue.
Okay. As long as I don't get the Bob Proctor police showing up.
Who would it be? It would be Pixie.
Oh, Pixie would get you.
Pixie's his sister-in-law, and she's a fireball.
Okay, so, and then if I did it with you next to me, Kim, so that I could get you in the shot quite often.
Possibly at the Q&A, probably not. The issue with the volunteers is that we get sequestered away and we have tables that we have to go to. However,
you could, if he saved you a spot, you could sit there.
I could finish that thought, Paul.
Yeah, it would not be an issue.
By the time I get to the room, it will be full. So if you'd have to save me a seat.
Yeah.
But he kind of lets you get started on eating before, so he doesn't start the Q&A for a bit. So
right.
I mean, the events I normally go to, you arrive and the salad is already sitting at your table setting.
Yes.
That's pretty much how this is, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they bring the hot meal and then coffee or whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I will either get there on a Wednesday early afternoon or early evening, depending on which flight I grab. If I grab the 5 a.m. flight out of Bellingham, I can be there in LA by like 1, but if I grab the 10 a.m. flight, I'll get there about 8.
Okay, so you're gonna drive across the border. You're gonna take a little hopper across to Bellingham. So I won't get there till Thursday morning.
Okay.
And then I think I arrive at 10:10, and then I go straight to the volunteer room because we'll work most of the day. But knowing that you're already going to be there, as soon as I'm free, I will text you.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'll be there for sure Wednesday evening.
Okay.
And then
Randy is flying in. So Randy's coming in. He won't arrive until late Thursday night.
Okay.
So you probably won't see him until Friday.
So we've got Friday night and Saturday night then.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Is it all day Friday and all day Saturday? When is
No,
it?
yes, it runs till
Sunday morning, right?
1:30 on Sunday afternoon.
Okay. But you said Randy won't get there till Friday night?
He'll fly Thursday night.
Oh, Thursday night.
So he's coming from New York.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll live stream for sure for one of those days. Probably the Friday or the Saturday then.
Yeah, that's the only 2 days they do the lunch.
But not the Thursday?
No, I have to look at the schedule.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Friday. Wait a minute, it's Friday,
It's
Saturday.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes. Yeah, I'm flying in on the Wednesday evening to be ready. No, I haven't booked my flight. I'll be flying in on the Thursday evening. Right, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'll be there.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, well, we can live stream for one of those lunches, providing there's cell signal in the Sheraton Gateway or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Have a US plan. So I can do that. Okay, so reverse engineering the countdown for the group then.
Stop, Kenny.
Are we still on for June 1st for the...
Yeah, I think we can do that. I do think that I would like to do some promoting of it,
Yeah.
of the challenge.
Yeah. Because obviously we're going to have lots of bells and whistles in the next couple of days with the website launch,
Yeah.
which will take us to Monday. And then we've got from the Monday to Friday next week to promote the group.
I guess the 1st is a Saturday, so should we start it on the Monday, the 3rd?
Sure.
Probably doesn't make sense to start it on a Saturday.
Okay. On Monday. Got it. Yeah. Did you see how well our video went on Emily, by the way?
Yeah, it went great.
And I gave Facebook money to boost it.
And it still says they're reviewing it.
It never actually, it must have got stuck in the subroutine. And now it's telling me the boost is complete. And we got really good attraction, but we paid $0. So that was kind of, I've never had that in years. Have I had an extent?
I wondered what happened when I saw that.
I do Facebook ads every day for lots of different people. And normally my ads are approved within 10, 15 minutes. I mean, I'm as good as gold in the Facebook world. But when it said it was holding it for review, and then I submitted 2 more reviews saying, what the, and then it said it's complete, and I never spent any money.
Huh.
But it did really well.
Good.
It was obviously because of the trifecta picture on the front.
Yeah, that helps, right?
And what really was nice is that Facebook gave me 10 different options to pick.
Oh, good.
I was able to pick the best one with you two smiling. So
Where we weren't going like this.
no, exactly. Yeah. But obviously, as soon as a website goes launching, people can sign up for the Imagination Guide and get that download, and then they'll get an email sequence, and then we'll email them out about the group as well.
Okay.
Yeah. We did talk this morning, Kim, about a second Facebook group, which is a private Facebook group that nobody would know existed unless they were given an invite for your ambassador program.
Which would be our partners. We talked about calling it Gifted Ambassadors. It would be a place where we could kind of keep in touch with them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe give them some, some benefit to being in there. So give them updates and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, including like first edition signed copies and things like that potentially.
Of course.
Well, hey, if a first edition from an old library of Harry Potter can sell for £30,000.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh?
Hey, I'm believing it.
That's right. Believe it, believe it.
So, yeah, I mean, do we have a database list of these potential ambassadors? I know you said you're talking to people.
Well, I've emailed a bunch, and we've gotten 2 opt-ins. So I have to email a bunch more, but I got to go digging and research another 100. So we're getting about 2%.
Okay.
Well,
So
I really liked your idea when you said that to the lady on the call about how the book could be a catalyst, like have your client read this and then let's discuss it. And it made me think, there's 2,000 Procter Gallagher consultants, and, that's an option.
totally. Because the methodology is written between the lines, but the story
Right.
is a story. And I mean, just the whole. I still keep coming at this pink concrete, but I mean, they were stuck, and then they just. I mean, so often in life, it's a deer in the headlight, and you just think, how am I going to get over this?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then suddenly you think, well, maybe it's not about me. Maybe I just need to just let this happen.
Mm-hmm.
Before you know it,
Skydiving. They're skydiving.
You don't want to tell people that, though.
No.
Oh, by the way, you go through quicksand and then you're going to be skydiving, and you may never have skydived before, and only one of them has, and he'll tell you when to pull the ripcord, and it's like frying pan fire.
And would you like an insider secret, Jonathan?
Of course.
Paul wrote that part.
I haven't really tried to guess who wrote which bits.
In Aruba.
Sometimes we don't even remember.
I do remember that, yeah.
There's certain things that we remember who wrote what, but sometimes we look at each other and go, I don't even remember who wrote this. And I don't either.
We would be we had to read the book like 20 times, and like maybe the 12th time I'm reading it and I'm like, I don't even remember this being in the book before.
Yes.
I'm like, well, I don't know what's going on with my brain.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever reading this before.
That's so interesting. That just suddenly, different things register. Yeah, but if is there like a central newsletter that goes out for the PGI consultants then? Because obviously,
I don't know. We could find out.
I think they probably have a Facebook group.
They do have a Facebook group.
I don't know that there's a newsletter.
It's private. I can tell you it's private. You can't get into it if it's not, if you're not a consultant.
Yeah.
George is, isn't he?
But Mary is.
Mary is too.
Well, I mean, George especially could say into that group that he's been very involved with this. He was one of the early writers. He was the voice. He was this, and highly recommend that people get in touch with you. I mean, I don't know. I would have thought the Procter & Gamble people would have written a blog about you two, and how
we have the option of writing one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we will do that. So.
Yeah, I mean, Lisa Sasevich wrote a whole blog about me, and she had one of her writers call me up, and we actually did it over the phone, and then they created this 2-page article about me that went national to all of her 45,000 lists or something like that, and it's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Procter blog.
Okay. They call it the Friday Story.
The Friday Story. Mm-hmm.
Friday Story.
Okay.
So we just have to submit it.
We have to figure out what we're going to write it about first.
Yeah.
How can two people who don't live anywhere close to each other write a book in unison and still remain friends?
Because do you remember, Paul, when we first talked to Judy, it might have been the call that you weren't on, but Judy said, as a publisher, working on a book that has 2 authors is really difficult for them because authors don't agree about everything. and they bicker and they don't get along, and it slows things down, and as the publisher they get caught in the middle, and that hasn't been the case with us at all.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I think that alone is a great story.
Well, and I think we just decided it wasn't going to be that way.
Yeah,
we just decided that, so our agreement is if one or the other of us wants to leave, no questions asked. We'll still be friends, just leave. It's really easy.
Wow, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Debbie, you've been married a long time, Kim. Debbie and I've been married, 30? Well, we've been together 38 years this year.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And some people say to me, how do you do that and still be nice to each other? And it's like, you exist, and you're complementary to each other, and it becomes better with and without.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. It's funny, I had 3 brothers. My elder brother married his childhood sweetheart. They've been married, he's 7 years more than us, and they're still together, really happy. And then I have 2 younger brothers, both of which have been married, divorced, and remarried. It's weird, isn't it? But hey, I can only say what I can say about what I do. Okay, I have a couple of minutes. So I'm working on website launch, pushing that really heavy all weekend. We're kind of almost due another character reveal because we kind of missed one with a bad recording. So what does Monday look like for you guys, being Memorial Day?
I'm free all day on Memorial Day because I don't have to work. I'm off.
I have my wife's family in town, so I do not know what the schedule is. So,
well, I have very little on with client work, funny enough. So if you wanted to do anything differently time-wise.
Because we're scheduled to meet on Monday, right?
We're scheduled to meet on Monday. And do you want to do a James reveal on Monday?
I was thinking of it. Yeah, any time after 11 a.m. my time, I'm free. So, because the boot camp that I typically do on a Monday afternoon, we've postponed a week. So, from noon, or I could do 9:30 to 10 as well, but it would be a precise 9:30 to 10. Or I could do before 8:30 in the morning my time, so I could do early.
Early would work.
I could do 8 a.m. your time if that worked.
That works for me.
Okay.
I know it works for Kim.
Yeah.
So 7 a.m. Mountain, 8 a.m. Sorry, 7 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Mountain.
Yeah, and we'll do James.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do that. Put that, and then then you got the rest of the day to do whatever. So.
Do holidays make a difference on Facebook activity? Is it less, more? The activity on Facebook, does it change with a holiday?
Depends on the weather. And if it's a really, really nice day in that local area, it disappears, but you'll get more people sharing what they're up to. If it's a miserable wet day, it can be an amazing day.
Okay.
But obviously we're so broad in our geography. It's hard to say.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Just wondering.
I just have to pick the right time to share it. Now we know how to record it properly.
Glad we could help.
I broke a toe over that. Did I tell you?
No.
I ended up booking a call with Zoom because I was so frustrated. And then I got a manager to call me the next day, and she called me, and it was cloudy, and suddenly the sun came out, and I was blinded, and I just stood up to close my blind and stubbed the side of my foot on my unit here. and I broke my little toe.
Oh,
I can't tell you how painful it was.
Oh,
I can imagine how painful that
The
was.
last 2 days, I've had my toe strapped up, and I've been wearing runners around the house. And for those of you who know anything about Canada, you never wear shoes inside a Canadian home, and I am.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it is shoes off at the door permanently.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either until I got here. But it protects your carpets, your floor. I mean, it makes total sense, but maybe it's because we get a lot more winter. I don't know. Anyway, I should zoom because I have to run, pee, and coffee and come back. So thank you,
Okay.
folks. I've got everything. I need.
Bye.
And stand by. We'll let you know when it hits the airwaves on the end of the website. Launch.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Birthing a baby. Then Diana gets potentially pregnant. That's too funny.
Yes. What an exciting day.
Oh.
I'll let you know. Okay. Bye for now.
Bye.